Wow! What the hell am I doing here? Your guest
I don't know. Brooke looks really different.
Brooke does look really different today. What's up? Trying to sound like TK. It's not working.
It's not working. It's basically...
Hello. Welcome to the Cup TV, part of the Currently Unnamed Podcast Network, where we put the real in the tea in reality, and you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I'm Logan Murphy. Say something gay. I am drinking aptly, and I made this specifically knowing that I was doing this recording today. I am having a lavender lemonade.
God fucking damn it.
And as I will be mentioning every time that I am on this podcast for the Challenge All-Stars, I am literally only here for Davon Rogers.
Very fair. I mean, correctly. At various points, you were only here for Davon Rogers. Unfortunately, this episode isn't going to help out much.
And I come on the least Davon-centric episode of the damn season so far.
Well, my name is Jack. I am the resident game designer of the panel, and I carry big balls, and I will not be explaining further.
You could if you wanted to.
Big, large, pink yoga balls. Anyway.
Yep.
This was a very nothing burger of an episode.
This was an episode that could have been an email, honestly.
I mean, it honestly felt like it should have just happened last week, and we should have gotten a 2-hour episode, because they basically showed the reason that the team goes home this week last week.
We'll talk about it. I think there's some telegraphing here, and I think I know who's going home next week. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, my God.
I'm back. Don't worry.
Okay, but
I'm in a different space today, so podcasting has been a little bit weird today, but hey, we're gonna live with it and survive. But we're gonna talk about this nothing burger of an episode of Challenge All-Stars. But before we do, make sure to subscribe if you've not already, because we're here almost all the time giving you almost all things competitive reality TV. And make sure to check out the description below, where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, and where you can get your merch. I don't have my cup mug because I forgot to go get it, but Jack has one.
Woo. Look at that. You know, I really wish there was one here and one here, but...
Well, now there is.
Now there is. And you can get a nice and well-improved cup mug. Where?
LanaGCreations.etsy.com. That link is in the description below. We do ship domestically within North America and internationally, so there are no excuses. Period. All right. Challenge All-Stars. I missed the first 2 episodes of this season on this podcast, and I don't really care to go through my thoughts other than stan Davon Rogers. No, I will for a second, because I'm fundamentally disappointed, at Beth and John A going home first. Because there were 2 reasons that I was watching this season of the challenge. And one of them was Davon Rogers, and the other one was John A. And then John A got eliminated. I love John A. I've always loved John A. She's one of my favorite people to ever be on the challenge. So I was fundamentally disappointed when she got eliminated first. And I'm also fundamentally disappointed with the editing of that episode and how, I'm still confused as to how they got thrown into the jungle. And I don't really care enough to go through the semantics of it, whatever. I just have to say this right off the bat. MTV, literally fuck you with the editing of these episodes. These episodes make no sense. Nothing about these episodes make any sort of fucking sense whatsoever. I don't understand what happened in the Viacom merger that made them push this back to MTV, but it's flopping, and it's your fault, because otherwise the season is actually pretty good.
Yeah, my honest thought is probably, something happened where they were like, oh, All-Stars 1 to 4 performed really well. We could put it back on MTV, with the small problem that the reason people were easily able to watch All-Stars 1 to 4 was because it was on Paramount Plus. So they are very quickly realizing that this was a really bad idea. Because I have seen very little discussion about any of these episodes. I've seen more discussions about I don't know how to watch this season. And it's because you can only watch it at one specific point in time. There are no places being dumped to currently. Like you watch it or you miss it. And when most people have already seen the spoilers online, they're probably just gonna miss it.
Oh, I got spoiled for this episode by the person that got eliminated. And I was fundamentally disappointed. Yeah, I'll just go ahead and say because I don't care. Yeah, I was on Instagram last night before I was able to watch the episode because I had it recorded. And Sylvia posted on Instagram saying, "Well, my time on Challenge All Stars was great." And I was like, "All right, fuck you, Sylvia." But whatever. So
yeah,
we come back. Yeah. So we come back to this episode. Beth and Johnny are gone. No one really seems to care. And the entire storyline for this episode is that Adam is sick.
Yep. That is
Daddy
quite
Adam
literally
is sick.
the only storyline.
Yep.
Basically. It's just Adam is throwing up again and is not well.
I was really upset to see it because he's really attractive and I don't like to see him sick. I forgot how attractive Adam is. And I also forgot that he's now married to Avery. And that's weird to me. But also, bring Avery back. I love Avery. Big fan of Avery. So if Avery's on a future season, I will be tuning in. But yeah, literally the storyline is
Adam is sick.
Yeah.
That, I mean, beyond that, in a little segment of Frank talking about how he's a good game player.
Okay, I have to say, so impressed with Frank so far.
Oh yeah.
I was very, very surprised to see him back, especially after 12 years. But I will go on record saying, and I stand behind this decision, and I haven't watched this season in a few years, but Battle of the Seasons is my favorite season of the challenge. So the fact that 3 of the winners from that season are on this season just makes my heart sing, and the other one can go to hell. But the fact that we have Frank, Sam, and Ashley back on just makes me so happy. And especially Frank. A, he's just as hot as he was, if not maybe hotter. And B, the man needs to be a mainstay of Challenge All Stars at this point. In 3 episodes, he has proved that he deserves a spot and he should be a mainstay, because the amount of strategy that, even in the little bits of strategy we're seeing in the edit, which is not enough, but what we're seeing from Frank is wildly impressive. Wildly impressive.
Yeah, I mean, I can't complain. I mean, we need something at the moment other than, oh, this person is not doing things. This person is not well. So thankfully, we do have Frank actually having some strategy talk with people, but I mean, I'm not mad at it. I'm very happy to see Frank doing well.
Also, this cast, so gay.
Oh yeah, no, this cast is very queer.
So gay. I love it.
It's very interesting.
I absolutely love it. So, we very quickly go to the challenge. Our challenge for this week is Ball Buster. A very confusing obstacle course.
Yeah.
So each team has 10 of their own colored balls in this star pit, because all stars, sure, whatever. Whatever. So you have to carry as many balls as you can carry through this, like, it's a very simple obstacle course. Once you get all 10 of your balls to the other end of the course, then you solve a puzzle.
Yeah.
Okay.
They took a book out of the Survivor Challenge database, except they added balls because they had a pun that they wanted to use and they needed to fit it in somewhere.
The amount of ball puns that Adam came up with made me very happy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this challenge was pretty fun, I guess. We saw a lot of people struggle. Guess what? To no surprise, Sam's struggling. I really felt for Sam.
Mm-hmm.
I will say her moment with Anissa as well. It was one of we skipped over it real quick. But her moment with Anissa and talking about body positivity made me very, very happy. I appreciate Anissa a lot. She's also someone that I very, very much so enjoy on the show. So I was happy to see it. But speaking of Anissa, she is also struggling because she has not been on a cargo net since she dislocated her shoulder. And I understand that level of paranoia and anxiety over it. And I have to say, I really appreciated Ashley in this episode up until the end. I mean, the way that she coached Anissa through this challenge, I thought was really good.
Yeah,
now, do I completely agree with Ashley? Do I think they're going to win this season? Absolutely not.
No. Oh God, no. You can essentially count them out now, but they will be here for a little bit.
And as much as I love the pairing of Davon and Shane, I love the pairing of Davon and Shane. I do kind of wish now that it was Ashley and Davon. Because imagine.
I could see it, yeah.
Imagine. Well, and I don't know how much you've watched. I'm a very frequent fan of Davon's YouTube channel as well. She talked about how when she got there, they kind of had a feeling it was going to be rivals. She 100% thought her rival was going to be Ashley.
That doesn't surprise me because they butted heads a lot in the past.
But so did her and Shane.
But so did her and Shane. But at the exact same time, who else was Anissa going to be paired up with? Like, there were very specific people that were cast for very specific people. And then at that point, once you narrow those people down, it's like, you with you, you with you, you with you. There's almost no choice.
I don't know recent challenge lore well enough to know who Anissa could have been paired with.
Yeah.
The only person that comes to mind is Maga Maria, and I'm really glad she's not on this cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, this challenge is pretty cut and dry. It comes down to Amber and Fessy, who I'm excited to see are slaying this season so far. Because Amber, another person I very much so enjoy. There is a through line of me usually being a fan of women of color on the challenge. Like, pretty much that's the demographic of people I'm gonna root for the most. But it comes down to Amber and Fessy and Devin and Leroy. But as Devin said himself, if we can get through the first part of the challenge and get to the puzzle, I'm gonna be able to solve the puzzle no problem. And guess what? He did. And I was really happy to see that Leroy put in his work, because I know Lee is not good with puzzles. So it made me very happy that at least he helped.
At least he was able to assist, even if it was slightly. Very slightly.
He did something.
He did something. Yeah. Devin still took complete control, but he did something.
Well, yes, but something still happened. And for that, I am very happy and thankful. But yeah, so Devin and Leroy win. They are safe from elimination. They hold on to their star. Blah, 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 blah. By the way, in case, because no one asked, I hate this star twist. I absolutely hate it.
The issue with the star twist is that it promotes very static gameplay. Mm-hmm. Because especially right now, everyone knows that if you take someone else's star, all you're doing is making sure you're targeted until the end of the game. There is no reason for anyone to attempt to switch up or grab a star at the moment. The only reason the only thing you're trying to do right now is make sure you are not being eliminated.
Yeah.
Like, give it 4 or 5 episodes. I mean, they even slightly talk about it next episode, but like, I expect the real hunger for Star to come in like 2, 3, 4 episodes. Right now, everyone is kind of coasting where it's like, oh, okay, we'll send in the person who's the biggest threat with the Star, and like, then we'll figure out who else can go for it. Like the twist isn't really working to do anything to the game.
I think some of the twists that they've employed over the years have been really good, but that's honest to God most of the reason why I fell off watching the challenge, because I think like it's twists like these that, like you said, just kind of make the gameplay very static. And it's like, I hope we see a switch up in the gameplay at some point. They do like to do that, so I am hopeful that we'll get maybe a little bit of that. There's not much discussion when it comes to who the house is voting into elimination, because they're all assholes except for Katie and Veronica, basically. And I do really appreciate Katie and Veronica standing on business and saying, hey, first and foremost, these are my friends. Second of all, Adam's literally sick.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. I mean,
no, it doesn't.
They
but
genuinely just want Adam and Steve gone. So yeah, everyone except for, and I had this pulled up earlier, but it has
was
suddenly
Katie
disappeared.
and Veronica, and it was
Katie and Veronica, and I mean Adam and Steve as well voted for someone different.
They voted for Frank and Sam.
Which okay.
Katie and Veronica voted for Corey and Big T again. Also, side note, big fan of Corey and Big T. Very happy that they're here. Big fan of Corey and Big T.
So Adam and Steve. Adam and Steve and Katie and Veronica, because the only other notable vote outside those two is what Devin and Leroy do. Every other person votes for Adam and Steve because it is the easy, non-wave making option.
How fucking boring. Like,
this format has no reason for anyone to do anything else at the moment.
Like at this point, genuinely, I don't love Adam or Steve, quite honestly. I never really did on the challenge. If Davon and Shane don't win, at this point, I kind of want it to be Adam and Steve that win the whole damn season.
That's very fair.
I just think whatever. But yeah, so Adam and Steve are going into elimination, even though Adam's literally has a respiratory virus. I hope that virus spreads to everybody else in the house. I hope. I really hope. It's what they deserve, except for Davon. I hope Davon doesn't.
Except for Davon. Davon is good.
And Shane.
And also Katie and Veronica.
Veronica. Maybe Corey and Big T. And maybe Frank and Sam.
Everyone else can get it.
So we get a little bit of strategy before we go to the jungle. We see Devin and Leroy talking to Adam and Steve. And Adam and Steve are like, no, we want Frank and Sam. And Devin and Leroy are like, well, we'll see what happens. And then we go to the jungle. And I'm like, okay, cool. I'm expecting them to throw in Frank and Sam. Cool, whatever. And then we get Leroy and Devin's decision, and completely out of the blue, they throw in Sylvia and Kellyanne, and I'm like, what the fuck?
This is the same thing that happened last week. Like, we literally do not have any reasoning for why the person thrown into the jungle is being thrown into the jungle.
Well, we get a little bit more this week because we get a flashback at least. Thank God for the flash. But why can't we see this in real time? Like, the editing of this makes no fucking sense. I don't understand this. Literally, narratively, you are making a shit show, MTV. Narratively, this show makes no sense right now, and you're ruining what could and probably is an otherwise phenomenal season of the challenge. You're fucking ruining it by giving us flashbacks as opposed to just seeing Frank have this conversation with Leroy and Devin, or having any sort of context for the fucking choice that's made. It's like, I don't get it. At least, thank God, we get to see in flashback after Sylvia and Kellyanne are thrown in, Devin and Leroy have a conversation with Frank, because thankfully Devin recognizes that Frank is a very big social player in this house right now, doesn't want to be on his bad side, and Frank is the one that says Sylvia and Kellyanne's name to Devin and Leroy. Now, why does Frank say their name? Literally not explained.
We don't know. We just don't know.
I would like to know. I would like to have that information.
And it could have honestly have just been a random name, as, I mean, tell me if I'm wrong here, but Frank and Sam don't have like any connection to Kellyanne or Sylvia. Maybe
No, I don't.
Sylvia.
Well, neither of them have been on the show in 12 years, so obviously they don't.
Yeah.
I don't think
But,
Sylvia
like,
or Kellyanne was on the challenge at that point, actually.
Yeah, I
don't think
think
either of them were on.
Sylvia was before and Kelly Sylvia was after and Kellyanne was before.
Before. Yeah. Yeah, I would like some sort of understanding. I don't really fucking know.
I genuinely don't know, but I mean, it's another situation where it's like, oh, okay. We have Adam and Steve, who are this big giant threat, versus Kellyanne and
Two
Sylvia,
women.
who the only thing we know about them is that they fight. And they are not good partners.
Last episode, and they made up this episode.
Yeah.
We did see them have a conversation. They made up. I was happy to see it because I like both of them individually. I like them. I think they're lovely. So I was very disappointed to see them thrown into elimination against Adam and Steve, because I had a pretty good feeling that they were going to go home. Not to spoil things too quickly.
This elimination was not gonna.
This elimination was fucking weird.
It's so strange.
So the elimination challenge on the jungle is Pile It On. So you have a puzzle that you have to solve. While you're solving the puzzle, a rope is falling from the sky. And once you solve the puzzle, you can then pick up your rope and pile it onto yourselves. And basically, the entire point of the challenge is to hold up this rope as it is continually coming down for 5 minutes straight. And if you drop the rope, then your 5 minutes starts over once you pick it up again. And the team that lasts their 5-minute segment first wins the elimination. Now, what I will say is, so far, I have appreciated that at least the eliminations do feel a little bit more even, because we do have male teams, female teams, and male teams. I do appreciate, like, the challenges and the elimination so far have felt a little bit more balanced than they have been in the past for the challenge. So I do really appreciate that. With that being said, I think this is stupid.
This is a very weird challenge where essentially, once a team solves the puzzle, the only other thing that they have to do is pick up a bunch of stuff and literally stand there for 5 minutes. So if a team, and I mean, we kind of see it, where Adam and Steve get there probably a good 30 seconds before Kellyanne and Sylvia, the only thing that could possibly happen to change the result at this point is Adam and Steve dropping the rope.
And it's literally just a waiting game.
It's quite literally just a waiting game. And I mean, it doesn't help either that the longer this challenge is going on, the more rope the team that's already behind has to pick up. Yeah. There's no, it quite literally is just, as long as you complete the puzzle fast enough and you can pick up stuff correctly, you've won this elimination. We need to wait 5 minutes.
And the gag is, with like 3 seconds left, Adam and Steve almost dropped it.
They did, yeah.
Like, their chain was like 6 inches from the ground, and I was like,
oh.
And even then, like, with 30 seconds to go, Sylvia and Kellyanne were like, well.
Like, they are full on waiting at a train station, like, okay.
We gotta hope they fall.
This was a fun time. I'm glad we made up, I guess.
Literally. And that is their entire storyline, and they're eliminated.
Yay.
Okay. I'm sad to see them both go, honestly. I think they could have been a very strong team.
They really could have if they've gotten their shit together earlier. Obviously, they needed 2 rounds to figure it out, but unfortunately, at the end of that second round, they were done. So
yeah. I do love that they seem to be friends now. I'm happy to see that. Cool. Sorry to see you go, ladies. I do like them both. And I do hope we see them on a future All-Stars. So.
I think if they aren't hampered by something immediate, like going like, yeah, no, go ahead and face probably the strongest physical team here, they probably do really well. This is quite literally just a team that is going out early because one person said their name, and the people at the top are like, yeah, no, we're okay with that. If Frank probably could have said any name beyond maybe, I don't know, like, I'm just trying to think of names that Devin and Leroy probably don't put down, and it probably is just the other star winners, like, realistically.
I don't think they're going for star-on-star crime at this point.
And I'm not even sure what happens if that does occur.
Like if for example they were to send in, I don't know, Ashley and Dario.
Yeah, I mean, what I would assume
I think then probably the winner of the next challenge will get that star.
Which it doesn't make sense to even do that at this point. Like,
I don't know.
I mean, it is a valid strategy to get it out of position, but that would also throw a lot of blood on Devin and Leroy, and they did not need that, so they just need an easy name. Sylvie and Kellyanne were easy, and we're done.
Yep.
But yeah, no, this episode, as you said earlier, was basically, this could have been an email.
Yeah, and then we get this random ass awkward fight between Ashley and Anissa to end the episode. Where Ashley
doesn't take to the word redneck well.
And I will say this, watching this, I do feel like Anissa, like, I understand where Anissa's coming from. And I do also appreciate that Anissa is just as apologetic. Like, I really appreciated that she was just, like, very apologetic about the whole situation. Like, immediately, Ashley is just not taking it.
Yeah.
At all. And if this is telegraphing anything to me, I'm gonna safely predict that we're losing Ashley and Anissa next week. Because that's just the way they're telegraphing this season.
We do have a little bit in the preview for the next episode of like, oh, we have to start thinking about getting a star. But like, it wouldn't surprise me if Ashley and Anissa just go next episode and all of this is like talk for the 4th episode. Or like some other weird thing where the producers just are kind of like, okay, this game has not moved in a hot minute. Let's just do something else.
Yeah.
A double something. I don't know. But yeah, that's it. We're done.
That's literally it. So we're going to get out of here. Thank you for joining us for this recap of this milquetoast-ass episode of the Challenge All-Stars. We'll be back next week in some capacity on our panel to talk about episode 4. In the meantime, let us know your thoughts on this milquetoast-ass episode in the comments below. Subscribe. We are trying to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. And if that happens, we can do a lot more fun, exciting, cool things on this channel. So it would be super great to get your support. And if you're already subscribed, thanks. Appreciate it. Make sure to check out the description below where you can find all of our audio podcast links, our other YouTube channels, our Patreon, our social media, and where you can get your merch, including but not limited to cup mug. And with all that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. So cheers.
Cheers.